I exactly never knew the kind of player Arsenal were going in for, but for this, I thought that it would be wise for them to go in for a player that really knows the Premier League, because in the situation where they are, things look like are all going well in their hands. With United drawing out at Palace, Casemiro not in the game they're going to play at. They're going to play on Sunday against Manchester United. So missing out on Callum Modric, it was really a very huge boost. As I already told you that Arsenal should get that amount of money and really sign in 3 players that can help them win the trophy this season. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Trossard To Arsenal Advanced Talks, or Talks Advanced. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to broke that story. David Austin too, and very many other journalists have really jumped onto the bandwagon to confirm to us that Arsenal are interested in signing a player known as Trossard from Brighton to the Emirates. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now, Fabrizio Romano this morning has gone ahead and really hinted about Arsenal in negotiations with Brighton to sign Trossard. We are going to talk about Pep Guardiola coming out and really saying that he learned a lot from Mikel Arteta and is happy with what Arteta is achieving at Arsenal. And lastly, Cedric Talks' move to Fulham is accelerating and moving in the right direction. Let's start off with Trossard's story that is making headlines all over the world. Now, Fabrizio Romano this morning has told us that exclusive Arsenal have open talks to sign Leonardo Trossard from Brighton. Negotiations are advanced with official bid ready for permanent move. Personal terms already agreed. Talks will continue to get a deal done soon. That is Fabrizio Romano. And you know, when he comes out, you'll know that it is really the ongoing thing. Not so? So, Arsenal fans all over the world, there is a present coming into you for Leandro Trossard. And I believe this is going to be one of the best blessings that are going to come to Arsenal ever this season. You know, Trossard is a Premier League proven player, first and foremost. Secondly, the experience is really great. He plays as a left winger, second striker, or a false number 9, meaning that he can lead the line. He can play as a central attacking midfielder. Is this kind of player that you are going to put him into your squad to help you boost anything that you want in any game. Do you know why? You can start him and bench Martinelli, and no fan will say, why has Martinelli been benched? Because you know that 100% Trossard will come out and really deliver. He's good on the ball, comfortable, press resistant, has a great skill set in his feet. I really believe that this is the kind of player that Arsenal should go in for. Callum Modric is a very good player, but you pay 100 million euros for him. He comes to your team with a lot of pressure, not Premier League proven. The media would go ahead and really criticize him a lot, and it would affect his growth at Arsenal. But Trossard, Premier League proven, he has been playing in a system that almost looks like that of Mikel Arteta under Graham Potter, who left Brighton and went to Chelsea. Then De Zerbi also has been playing him very well. Remember that debut of De Zerbi, Trossard scored a hat-trick against Liverpool, meaning that he's a big game winner. And in this situation, Arsenal has 2 games that they have to win. If at all they win those 2 games, the trophy is given to them. Those games are going to be against City. If you get in Trossard, he wins you games. In that Newcastle game, when it's 0-0, it's easy for Arsenal to take off Edin Ketia, get on Trossard to lead the line, and obviously he can win you that game of football. It's a very good signing, spot-on signing by Arsenal. I believe Mikel Arteta won't be bothered with how he fell off with the manager of Brighton, that is De Zerbi, because a lot of exchanges have been going in between the agent of Trossard and the manager. So looks like the fell off have been confirmed and the player doesn't want to be there anymore. So I believe it's really going to be great. And the most important thing is that personal terms already agreed. Talks will continue to get the deal done, meaning that Arsenal have agreed a deal with Trossard and the agent. And Trossard is willing to move to Arsenal. Everything is done and dusted. The agent fees, the amount of money Trossard is going to be earning weekly, that has been confirmed. Now, the most important thing is Trossard's Brighton and Arsenal coming to coming to an agreement. And I believe this deal is going to be accelerated and it's going to be done quickly because Arsenal are really good at doing these deals. You know it very well. And don't be surprised by the end of today when we've gotten a here we go from Fabrizio Romano that Trossard to Arsenal, here we go. Because Arsenal want to get this player. You know, when you're going to play Manchester United on Sunday, you need a Trossard. You need a Trossard because you are lacking options off the bench. If that game really needs another gear to go to the next level, you need a player like Trossard. You know why? Emily Smith-Rowe would have been that other gear that Arsenal gets off the bench and really takes the game to the next level, but he is really having a problem with his form, meaning that he needs some 3 or 4, 5 games to hit back to the levels of his match fitness. But Trossard has been playing games in, games out. Bring him at Arsenal, he can make the bench when Arsenal is playing Manchester United on Sunday. You get? But they're having Thursday and tomorrow afternoon. But I think registering Trossard will be easy. Everything is already there. Paperwork, if at all paperwork is signed, tomorrow morning he can be signed and you can see him play a very huge part into what we call the United and Arsenal match at Emirates. Now, we've been told by David Austin again that Arsenal working on a deal to sign Trossard from Brighton and Albion clubs in talks. No agreement yet, but 28-year Belgium international attacker among those Arsenal considering, and situation developing athletic after Fabrizio Romano broke the story. So it shows you that it's moving in the direct direction. Arsenal are in for the player. Even David Austin of the Athletic has gone ahead and really confirmed this, that a deal is in making, and Arsenal have agreed personal terms with the player. What has really delayed the deal? Negotiations between Brighton and Arsenal. Now, Sami Mokbo, you know him, chief reporter for Daily Mail, has told us that Arsenal have entered the race to sign Leandro Trossard from Brighton. Talks between both clubs have now taken place. So, talks between Arsenal are really going and taking place, and very many journalists are confirming this deal that is happening. And you know, this is what Arsenal need. Arsenal need Trossard, trust me. They need Trossard more than any other player, because if you are to go in for other Premier League players, it's going to be hard for you. But right now, it's easy for Arsenal to get Trossard because Trossard has gone ahead to break or to fall out with the manager of Brighton known as Tezabi. Now, we've been told by Charlie Havenden, he's a football journalist for Brighton. He's a content creator there, and he's like a correspondent for Brighton. As well as that Brighton will not let go of Leandro Trossard easily. Regardless of the situation between the player and the manager, Arsenal will have to pay £30 million. Clubs have open talks. So, I think £30 million for Trossard is some easy money for Arsenal to go on and pay. That's it. And I don't see this being a hinge or a factor that is going to prolong this deal to next week. Everything is going to be done. I think by end of today, we are going to get a here we go. Arsenal need this player. They know how important this player is going to be, because if everything is done today, a medical done tomorrow morning, paperwork submitted, everything registered, this player is into the game of Arsenal versus Manchester United. Arsenal know how important that game of Manchester United is. If they draw with Manchester United or they lose to Manchester United, Arsenal are just 5 points behind Manchester United. Not so, though they will be having a game in hand. If City wins today, they will be 5 points behind Arsenal. If Arsenal lose or draw with Manchester United, that means City would have gone ahead to find themselves in a position of getting back closer to Arsenal. And I believe Arsenal doesn't want to see this happen. That's why £30 million for me is something small for Arsenal. I believe they are going to go all out for this and win this game of football. That is what is in my mind. They want to get Trossard, and they know how Trossard is important in that game of Manchester United. I believe that is going to happen that way, and everything is going to go on as planned by Arsenal. So I believe this deal to get done. I believe this deal is going to be done as soon as possible. Even by the end of today, Trossard can even travel to London to do his medical. That's it. So let's wait and see what the aftercomings are going to be. Remember, this is the Rokani Media Football. We keep you updated on such things, but Trossard to Arsenal deal is advancing. So that is what we have right now. Now let's go to Cedric Talks. Fulham are accelerating their move for Cedric Talks, which would lead Arsenal to go for Ivan Fransneda and may even present an offer for Real Valladolid and the player this week. So it's now that I realize that there is no reason for Arsenal to go on and really get in a right back. Why should they get one? Ben White, Tomiyasu, they are available. You get? Why should they go in for one? Why should they go in for one? That's the big question, because if you take off Cedric Talks, he's a third choice. You're having two central defenders. Unless otherwise Arsenal are interested in signing Fransneda, but that can't be given as a reason for them to sign this player. But Cedric Talks is really on his way out of Arsenal. I believe he should leave. He should leave because he has nothing to do at Arsenal. He has nothing to do at Arsenal, and 100% the place is, or the right back position is out of his reach. And when it's out of your reach and you want to go ahead and really play the game of football, you obviously have to go on and leave the club. So Arsenal are really interested in selling the player, and I believe things are really going to go in the way of how they want them to be, because you can't come out and tell me that a player 31 years of age not making it to the starting 11 of Arsenal is not wanting to leave Arsenal. Even Mikel Arteta would love to get some money, like 80 million euros for the player. If at all they get like 80 million euros or 7 million pounds from this signing, I think that will be great for Arsenal, because that money will be used to really add on and bring on other players. They are already having lots and lots of money with them, meaning that they want more money from these players that are not really in unison with the team. Arsenal have made Declan Rice their summer transfer target. West Ham is calling in for £100 million. So if they are calling in for £100 million, that calls for Arsenal to gather or collect any penny they should collect from the players they're really having. That's why selling those players might be something easy. That's why you see to it that even Faron Balogun is being considered to be on sale. And Arsenal can get close to £40 million from the player, because he's firing in goals down in League One at steady range where he's playing. So Arsenal are really needing this money. I think they should go ahead and really get this deal done, get Cedric Talks off from the team. He's not playing. He's not going to be useful, because even the next stage of the UEFA Europa League, where you expect him to be useful for the team, are really going to be knockout stages. I don't see Mikel Arteta trying to put out a team of players that is really average. So I believe he'll go all out for the player, all out for these games, and he'll always go for his first 11. So Tomiyasu maybe will come in through and plus the right back, then Ben White will get rested, meaning that Cedric Talks won't even get a chance to play off the left back, because the left back position is really full. KNT and Zinchenko taking over. Even sometimes when the game is hard, it's Tomiyasu that plays as the left back. You know that very well. Meaning that he has no space for him at Arsenal. So I think it's time for him to leave a club known as Arsenal. This is one of the stories that I thought every Arsenal fan would love to hear. You know, Pep Guardiola has always loved Mikel Arteta. Let me take you back. When Pep Guardiola came in at Arsenal, when he came in at City, he knew that Mikel Arteta was vying to become a manager, and he was really doing his courses. He had gotten his UEFA A licenses, and he was really preparing his journey to become a manager. Now, Mikel Arteta is told by Pep Guardiola that, come join me at Man City, even though you've not yet really winded up your footballing career at Arsenal. I think I'm giving you a chance to work with me because you're well conversant of the Premier League. I need some knowledge from you. And he takes him. So Mikel Arteta never even said bye-bye to the Arsenal players or the Arsenal fans. He just goes to Man City and hence started his job as an assistant coach of Pep Guardiola. Now Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta said, I'm so satisfied about his success, because still he doesn't know how much I learned being alongside him at City in the 2 years or 2.5 years when we were together. So he learned a lot from him because Pep Guardiola was naive about the Premier League. He never had any nitty-gritty about the Premier League. And you needed a person like Mikel Arteta, who was a player and had really transformed himself into a manager, to tell you what it means to go out to play at Old Trafford, to play at Everton, to play at Crystal Palace. You get? So he was telling him, A, B, C, D, you need to be doing this. And obviously helped him really come up with a formula of dominating the Premier League, because he has won 5 Premier League trophies ever since he came in at the club of City. That is Pep Guardiola, and is so much satisfied, and he wants Mikel Arteta to really go ahead and really become successful. And I think this is why the board of City had started to go ahead and really investigate why he sold him to players Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko. So because Arsenal is really topping the table, and he sold those players to that side. And I think he's the one who made a decision that those players should go to Arsenal, because he felt like he should back up his man. Now, he concluded by saying when he started in Arsenal, there was a tough period because the results didn't come. Any one of us at City had no doubts if Arsenal could rely on him. So he's really a believer in this guy. And when Pep Guardiola believes in you, like he does in De Zerbi and Eric Ten Hag, you just get to know that those coaches are really class. That means Arsenal are really in the right hands of a proper manager. Not so? So, thank you guys for watching in through. What are your reactions for Trossard to Arsenal talks advance, as confirmed us by Fabrizio Romano? Then, Mikel Arteta being backed to be a successful manager at Arsenal by his former boss, that is Pep Guardiola at City. Then, what do you think about Fulham accelerating talks for a player of Arsenal known as Cedric Soares? Would you let him go, or you would keep him at Arsenal? A sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day. More is yet to come. I'm out. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. Bye-bye.